So often, when it all boils down, it boils down to the money. We live in a world where money dictates what matters, but it wasn't always this way. Indigenous wisdom reminds us before there was money, there was enough for everyone. Enough food, enough care, enough love. What happened? The system we now live in wasn't handed down by nature. It was invented by people. And like anything invented, it can be reimagined. This year is our moment, a Jubilee year. 400 years since New York City was founded, 750 years since Amsterdam was founded and began shaping global trade. Two cities, two histories, both deeply tied to the birth of the modern financial system. When the Dutch West India Company set up a trading post of New Amsterdam, they brought with them a new idea of ownership, a belief that land could be bought, sold, and possessed. But the indigenous peoples of that land, they lived by a different truth. To them, the earth wasn't a thing to be owned. It was a relative, a living being to be cared for and shared. They didn't believe they could sell the earth, only tend to it. From that collision of worldviews, a system of extraction was born. And now, centuries later, the earth is paying the price. But here's the thing, we have a choice. We can rewrite the story. And that's exactly what Brand Earth is inviting us to do. Introducing the Earth Bank Fund and the Earth Pass, a new way to bring reciprocity back into every transaction. Here's how it works. Every time a payment is made, no matter the method, no matter the size, a tiny fraction, just 1/100%, flows into the Earth Bank Fund, a BIP we call it, small enough to be unnoticed, but big enough to change everything. With the Earth Pass, everyone can carry the power to give back, to chip in an opportunity, and optionally to chip in more. To support regeneration in the bioregions they love, where their water flows, where their food grows, and where life is lived. This is a new form of economy, one rooted in reciprocity, not extraction, regeneration, not depletion, belonging, not ownership. It's not just about the money, it's about what money can become when it remembers who it truly serves. This is our Jubilee choice. To reimagine finance, to restore balance, to make every transaction a gift for the earth. Let's rise with the sun. Let's live in reciprocity. Let's make the earth whole again. What you've just seen is more than a story about money. It's a story about memory and possibility, about remembering where we've come from and reimagining where we can go. Brand Earth, the Earth Bank Fund, and the Earth Pass offer a bold and simple idea that every transaction can become a gift to the earth. But this vision didn't come out of nowhere. It comes from someone who dared to look at the world as it is and imagine what it could become. So now it's our great honor to welcome the founder of Brand Earth, Harry Uvegi, a visionary, a systems thinker, and a heart-forward leader.
My history taught me to be an architect back in the 70s. And over the decades of having my own architectural and design firm, I took a pause after 25 years to feel what the past 25 was about and to feel what the next 25 would be. I was surprised and recognized that the last 25 was not going to be going forward. And the premise of that was based on the principles of the climate challenges that we were facing at that time. It was 1999 to 2000. And at that point, I recognized that all that I was doing, although creatively a joy, I recognized that a lot of the factors associated with materials was not exactly in alignment with the nature's gifts that we were given. And instead of the 5 polymers on the planet that generate the health of the planet, it turns out that we have thousands of toxic chemistry in the products that we live in, live by, purchase. And then as a designer and architect, I could not see myself going forward to present to clients choices that I know were not healthy enough for all of us to be living by. And so I thought, here's an opportunity to shift in the possibility of bringing forward all the nuances of what could be new directions in terms of living within this Western civilization. And it took a while for me to recognize that there was something bigger than that. And it was not until I was gifted to be invited to biomimicry and then became a founding member of Biomimicry New York City and recognized that there was the key to engage with nature and have this direct relationship with nature. And that was the game changer for Brand Earth to come to fruition. Brand Earth, where brand is be respectful, accessing nature's diversity. And that was my North Star at that point.
All right, beautiful. When you look at the way our current financial system affects communities and ecosystems, what do you see as the biggest harm? And how has that shaped your vision for Brand Earth?
In recognizing the toxicity that we all live in and live by, and most of it, a lot of it is in our systems personally, that I took a pause to recognize how it's even possible to recognize that there is a possibility to rescue ourselves from this toxic levels to begin to restore Mother Earth. And that was my commitment and still is. I could probably just a line I did many years ago before the words. I was standing at the intersection of intent and will and met you on the corner of convergence. And based on that principle, it was there that we remembered Earth is not a brand to sell, but a story to tell.
Mm. So let's talk about the vision. So tell us how the Earth Pass and the Earth Bank Fund work and why embedding reciprocity into every transaction can change everything.
Earth Pass has its acronym of people acting in sacred solidarity. And at this point, an Earth Pass could easily be the clearest and the most directive that anyone could participate with the ability to to understand that they can be part of the restoration and the reciprocity in our relationship with planet Earth. And that story is so simple. The story is for everyone to participate, and it gives everybody that breath of air to know that there is another path. Well, we have on this island that I live on, Manaháhtaan, there is a portion of the city, this westernly concrete jungle, so to speak. This was once a flourishing island. We had the opportunity to engage with what is considered ground zero for behavioral economics, the ad industry. And the ad world is ground zero for behavioral economics. And I recognize that there is this possibility to engage and invite the ad world to participate in this transition, to recognize that we can create the possibility of behavioral ecologics. And once I recognized that, that was a great opportunity to continue the evolution to where we are today, to actually bring forward that possibility and to invite the ad world to this huge transition that we're in the middle of.
Yes, we want to affect everybody. All of us engage every day in the marketplace. And having an Earth Pass in our digital wallet and becoming Earth positive in the way we pay for what we choose to buy and how we think deeply about what it is we're making that people are buying. I mean, it's a reimagination of finance and money. And it's extraordinary, Harry. And I want to encourage people to go to earthpass.money. That by the time they see this, we're going to have that up, and we are inventing this and making this resource and this possibility at a time when the issue of money is so clearly up. This is a chance to make it right and to put Mother Earth back at the table and give her a voice, and that being the voice of reciprocity. So I love you, brother. I'm so happy about Brand Earth and what it could mean, and the Earth Pass and the Earth Bank Fund. Invite everyone to check it out on either both the brand.earth website or the earthpass.money website. And all of this is emerging in one world.earth. So, anything else you want to say, Harry, as we conclude this program?
Yes, I'd like to. The Earth Pass becomes a beautiful opportunity so that when those BIPs show up that everybody could see, it ends up in an Earth Bank fund, and bank represents bioregions adapting nature's knowledge, which then invites everybody to participate in their own neighborhood, their whole bioregions that are beginning to receive the composting of currency in the possibility of how what we've created could actually now restore Mother Earth.
Yeah, no, there's a global governance to what we're doing here. There's a digital democracy, and it doesn't just fund the regeneration, it really helps to organize it. And we know people are going to find that part exciting because we do need to engage. That's at the heart of it all. It's about our awakening and remembering. We have the
There is another layer of the Earth Ledger. The Earth Ledger, not only does it record all of the transitions and transformation financially, but it also is an acronym of Love Earth, Do Good, Everyone Reconnects. And we do have the opportunity in a strategic relationship and partnership that Brand Earth has with the Compassion Games. And we feel that survival of the kindness within the bioregions have the opportunity to transform our planet relatively quickly with everybody participating in this transition.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is the ultimate compassion game. It's compassion for our ancestors who did so much to bring us here and our descendants that are counting on us to get this together. It's survival of the kindest, and it's connecting, like you say, what we have. And if we don't change our direction, we're going to wind up where we're headed. So, like we say at times, if anyone's got a better idea, I'm open to it. But for us, bringing compassion, bringing mindfulness, awareness into the choices we're making. And the way we're doing this with Solstice Unites is such a beautiful partnership within the Indigenous world and the people who thought of money differently than the way we were taught and the way we grew up. And the cost has been huge. And it's done a lot of great things for a lot of people, no doubt. But it's time to evolve to what's next. And we're at the moment when everything is changing. It's perfect time.
That, yeah, the other beautiful perspective is that each one of those BIPs is composting capitalism into care. It's not the revolution of control, but the evolution of communion.
Mm.
The metrics of GDP dissolve into generosity-driven presence. The old economics of extraction are composted into currencies of care. The Earth Bank no longer stores wealth, it distributes it like rain to the roots that feed the many. The Earth Pass becomes our invitation to re-enter the great circle, tracking every transaction, not in profit, but in planetary healing.
Mm.
That brings up those sacred instruments of a living economy that Brand Earth, Earth Pass, Earth Bank Fund, and the Earth Ledger together form a living ecosystem of planetary participation where every heartbeat, every act of reciprocity, every ecological contribution becomes a registered vibration of renewal. These are not just programs, they are spiritual infrastructures for the just transition designed to restore the sacred balance between economy, ecology, and empathy.
Mm. So beautiful, Harry. You know, Patricia says this is the cosmic planetary reverent revolution.
Mm,
And I love how you use language to help that reframe, to help us rethink. Like a BIP, okay? Now we call that a bioregional impact point.
yes.
But those in finance know that BIPs are a hundredth of 1%. It's a basis point. So
Yeah.
that's a good example of how we're looking to use language to really illuminate for us a new world where it's possible, where bioregions to find, knowing where our water comes from, the watersheds in which we occupy, and reimagining the world as one world.
This Earth Pass and Earth Bank Fund has a tendency to become the simplest way of living planetarily is through biodemocracy, where every country participates in this because it's nature that's being the beneficiary here.
Yeah, well, you're right. There are no countries. It's bioregions. That's where the money flows. That's where we're rooted. In fact, here, let's just look here and see this here. So, in fact, if you look here under bioregions, we're saying that the Earth Pass doesn't just do this funding, this creative solution to get money flowing, but it also creates a creative way, a la compassion games, to actually get communities engaging. So we've set this number at 400 in every bioregion. Get 400 people to freely download and put into their digital wallet the Earth Pass. We're saying, hey, that's a sign that there's something buzzing there, and we're going to support you in this. And with those 400 pass holders, you could set up your own local council, and that's where the idea of a stewardship council is born. And then the game is to get enough funds so that that stewardship council can take on some regeneration projects in that community. stuff that work for you in that community. It's up to you. This is truly self-organizing in that way. So this is just the section on the bioregions, but it gets down to, one more time, if you need to understand the impact you can make and how this works, that's what we talk about in this page, where every transaction is recorded in this, your own personal earth ledger, and see how it's impacting not just you. Here's your impact, but here's also the impact in the bioregion you've identified as yours, and the global impact that we're all having. So the impact is key to this. We're not just talking about another thing to make us feel good. We're talking about really changing the way the money flows. And by going to the earth positive methods, in other words, to the payment streams already, the Apple Pay, the PayPal, those are the players that will be the ones who we envision want you to choose them, so they're willing to do this and be earth positive. That's the idea here. So that the purchase flow comes from you who make the purchase. The BIPs move into the Earth Bank fund, into the ledger. And then in each bioregion, self-organizes and takes this stream into the community in a way that uplifts the community and restores Mother Earth. Here's the step-by-step breakdown. It's all here on the site. Why does this matter? How are we making this as easy as possible? Why wouldn't we do this? So there you go. That's a little bit more about Brand Earth and about the vision and why all this matters. We've got a detailed report here that can show you how big change doesn't always start big, but with a little bit really adds up. More about Brand Earth to their website. This whole idea of ethical and transparency, Earth Pass, Earth Ledger, and the idea of shifting to bioregions. So we're doing it. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing. That's the website. Encourage you to check it out. Sign up. As we figure out more of what that means, we'll tell you. But we're on this journey, and it's a blessing and a privilege to serve you, Harry, and to work with you.